You didn't find this message by accident. It wasn't chance or coincidence, but divine timing that brought you here. Have you felt it? That stirring in your spirit, the undeniable sense that something monumental is shifting around you. What makes this Christmas feel so different, so extraordinary? While the world is swept up in the noise of the season, chasing after glitter, distractions, and fleeting moments, you've sensed something deeper. What is it that's calling to you in this stillness? Could it be that this moment, this message, was crafted specifically for you? For far too long, you've carried the weight of trials that seemed unbearable. The whispers, the accusations, and the relentless doubts felt like chains holding you back. Do you remember the sleepless nights spent questioning your path, wondering if you had the strength to go on? And yet, here you are. What kept you moving forward when everything seemed to be working against you? Was it your unwavering faith, the quiet yet persistent belief that there was a greater purpose behind your pain? They thought the fire would consume you, but it only refined you. Do you realize how much strength and resilience you've gained in the process? Like a diamond formed under pressure, you've emerged more radiant than ever before. This Christmas, the case against you has been closed. Do you see it? Every false word spoken against you has been silenced. Every tear and prayer has been answered. Every door that was slammed shut in your face is now swinging wide open. How does it feel to know that your struggles weren't for nothing? That the trials you faced were never meant to destroy you, but to prepare you for this very moment? They thought they had buried you, but what they didn't know is that you were a seed all along, ready to bloom in God's perfect timing. If this message resonates with you, let your faith be known. Comment 777 below as a declaration that you're ready to step into this new season of victory. And to those who have supported this journey through your generous super thanks contributions, I want to say thank you from the depths of my heart. Your faith and kindness are a reflection of God's light, and your support makes it possible to share this message with the world. But here's the real question. Are you ready for what's next? What will you do when every obstacle becomes a stepping stone and every battle turns into a victory? This isn't just another Christmas. This is your moment of transformation. The struggles you endured weren't meant to break you. They were shaping you for the blessings ahead. Do you see how God is aligning everything for your good? How the battles you fought are being turned into triumphs? Chosen one, don't let this moment pass you by. What's about to unfold will confirm everything your heart has known all along. Are you ready to walk boldly into the destiny God has prepared for you? Stay with me, because the next chapter of your story is about to begin, and it will leave you in awe. Let's dive in together. You don't want to miss this. God's chosen ones. This Christmas, your case has been closed. Some gifts carry a weight far beyond their wrapping, and this Christmas they are receiving one that will change everything. A gift they never sought, never imagined, and certainly never wanted. It is not hidden beneath festive lights or adorned with glittering bows, yet its presence is undeniable. This gift is truth, stark and unyielding. Unlike the trinkets exchanged with smiles and laughter, this truth cannot be set aside, forgotten, or returned. It is here to stay, bearing a divine purpose they cannot escape. Think for a moment about those who mocked you, doubted you, and whispered behind your back. Did they believe their actions would vanish into the chaos of the holiday season, buried under laughter and cheer? They may have thought their dismissals of you were inconsequential, fading into the noise of celebrations. But truth, divine truth, operates on God's timing, not theirs. Just as Jesus declared in Luke 8:17, "For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light. This Christmas, that truth has come knocking on their door, delivered like an unyielding messenger from above. Why now? Why during this season of supposed joy and unity? Could it be that God is reminding them, and perhaps you, of his justice and timing? Just as the shepherds learned of Christ's birth in the most unexpected of moments, they are now confronted with the revelation of who you are. For years they underestimated you, dismissing your value, ignoring your purpose. But this Christmas, they are being forced to confront the reality of their misjudgments. Picture them unwrapping this truth, not with joy, but with unease, realizing the gravity of their mistakes. How do they respond when the undeniable reality of who you are, chosen by God, stares them in the face? Truth doesn't hide beneath tinsel or glitter. It doesn't fade like fleeting decorations at the end of the year. It endures, shining brightly like the star over Bethlehem, guiding the wise to a revelation they cannot deny. They called you crazy, didn't they? They laughed, shook their heads, and told anyone who would listen that you were a fool for dreaming so big, for seeing so clearly. But now, as the snow falls and the lights twinkle, the tables have turned. They're left staring at the undeniable evidence of your strength, your clarity, and your victory. The gift they're receiving this year, the mirror of their own arrogance. It wasn't enough for them to doubt you. They had to broadcast it, didn't they? The jokes, the sneers, the smug glances, all of it was their defense against what you represented. Vision they couldn't understand, foresight they didn't have, and courage they lacked. And now, that defense is crumbling piece by piece, as the truth of your resilience shines brighter than any Christmas star. You didn't need to fight back. You didn't need to engage in their games or stoop to their level. You simply kept moving forward, silent but steady, while they wasted time trying to tear you down. They thought the season of giving would come without consequences, but what they didn't realize is that life doesn't forget. Their actions were seeds, and now they're reaping what they sowed. And you don't need to say a word. Let the gift of truth speak for itself. Let it sit heavy in their hearts and remind them of every sneer, every scoff, every dismissal. This isn't your vengeance, it's their reckoning. So while they sit around their trees, opening packages, filled with momentary joy, there's one gift they can't avoid, a realization they can't escape, a truth they can't deny. This Christmas, they'll unwrap the weight of their own misjudgments, and it will linger long after the season is over. That's the gift they can't return. Every season has its songs, and every triumph its melody, yet this Christmas, the music that fills the air is not just the joyful carols of celebration, it is the solemn, haunting refrain of their defeat. The voices that once rang out with confidence, mocking your dreams and rejoicing in your struggles, have grown quieter now. The melody of their arrogance has shifted into a dissonant tune, and their once proud harmonies now carry the weight of regret. Do you hear it? The murmurs that replace their laughter, the forced politeness that hides their discomfort? These are the new notes in the carols of their downfall. It is as if every word they spoke against you, every chorus of your supposed failure, has returned to them in a song they cannot escape. In Proverbs 21:30 it is written, "There is no wisdom, no insight, no plan that can succeed against the Lord." And now the truth of this verse resonates in their hearts, weaving itself into the melody of their defeat. Have you ever noticed how quickly the tune changes when God steps in? The same individuals who confidently sang of your struggles now find their voices faltering. The tables have turned, and they cannot deny it. Just as David's triumph over Goliath silenced the mocking songs of the Philistines, your victories, small or great, have rewritten their narrative. Their chorus of pride has become a dirge of regret. Imagine them now, struggling to find the words to cover their unease, their defeat glaring at them like a bright light they cannot dim. What does it feel like for them? knowing the melodies they once sang with such glee now return as echoes of their own arrogance. What must it be like to hear the chords of their own downfall reverberating through the season they once thought would bury you? And you, what do you sing? Your song is not one of pride or vengeance, but of gratitude and faithfulness. Like Mary's Magnificat in Luke 1:46-55, you sing of God's mighty works, his justice and his favor upon the humble. He has brought down rulers from their thrones, but has lifted up the humble. Let your melody rise above theirs, not in triumph over their downfall, but in praise for the one who turned your mourning into dancing. They had their moment, didn't they? Their laughter, their mockery, their unshakable belief that you'd never rise above their words. They reveled in their superiority, treating you like a punchline in their seasonal show. But the performance is over now, and the spotlight has shifted. As the world watches you stand tall, they're left stumbling to rewrite their script. The only song left for them to sing is one of shame, regret, and disbelief. Their defeat wasn't just inevitable, it was poetic. For every word they used to try to silence you, they've now lost their own. Their arrogance was the verse, their mockery the refrain, and now the truth of your rise completes the final stanza. The carols of their defeat aren't cheerful or celebratory. They're a symphony of realization, each note striking harder than the last. They can hear it too, the sound of your perseverance ringing through the silence they once filled with noise. Every accomplishment of yours is a bell tolling, reminding them of what they didn't see, what they chose to ignore, and what they foolishly thought they could suppress. They thought they were the maestros of your downfall, but they were just the background music to your triumph. And you don't need to gloat. You don't need to dance to their tune or respond to their discord. Your victory speaks louder than any words, and their defeat is a song they'll be forced to replay over and over. Every time they see your name, hear of your success, or witness your unwavering strength, the carols of their defeat will echo in their minds. This isn't about revenge, it's about balance. It's about the universe giving back exactly what they put in. Their season of triumph was built on false confidence and empty mockery, and now it's crumbled, leaving them with nothing but the echoes of what they tried to take from you. The carols they sing now, they're not filled with joy. They're soaked in the bitterness of being proven wrong. So, while the world moves on, while the lights shine brighter for you, they'll sit in the quiet of their own making. Let the carols of their defeat ring clear, chosen one, not as your vengeance, but as their reminder. You were always the melody they couldn't match, and now your song plays louder than ever. Fate has a way of crafting the most poetic ironies, and this Christmas it has laid a table they never expected to approach. The same individuals who doubted you, dismissed you, and worked tirelessly to overshadow you are now left scrambling, searching for a place at a table they once deemed unworthy of your presence. The spotlight they sought for themselves now exposes their failures, while you stand tall, unwavering, and unbothered. Do you see how the stage has changed? They once reveled in their power, decorating their lives with pride and arrogance like ornaments on a tree. But now, even as they trim their trees with forced smiles and hollow cheer, the weight of their downfall is impossible to hide. The irony of it all glows brighter than the lights adorning their homes. It is a vivid reminder of Proverbs 16:18, which warns, "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall." This Christmas, they are living the truth of those words, their arrogance replaced with a quiet desperation to save face. Think about how often God's justice works in this way, turning the tables in unexpected ways. Joseph's story comes to mind, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and forgotten in prison. Yet, in God's perfect timing, the tables turned, and Joseph rose to become a ruler in Egypt, saving the very brothers who once plotted against him. Are you not witnessing a similar transformation in your own life? Those who doubted you now watch in silence as you rise, their plans undone by the hand of divine justice. Imagine their discomfort as they try to reconcile their past actions with the undeniable reality of your strength. Can they face the truth, or do they retreat into their hollow displays of holiday cheer, hoping the season will cover their unease? And what about you? How do you respond to their downfall? Do you dwell on their struggles, or do you focus on the blessings God has poured into your life? This moment is not about revenge or triumph over their defeat. It is about celebrating how God's hand has guided you through the trials, lifting you up while humbling those who opposed you. Let your light shine, not in arrogance, but in gratitude and peace. As Psalm 23:5 declares, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows." They had their chance to write the story, didn't they? They had their season of smugness, their moments of mockery, every laugh at your expense, every smug glance, every dismissal. They thought it would last forever. But here's the truth about life. It doesn't forget. Every word they spoke, every doubt they sowed, was a seed planted in their own garden of regret. And now, as the year comes to a close, they're reaping the fruits of their arrogance. The tables have turned, and the feast they once envisioned for themselves is now yours. You've earned every seat at the table, every piece of success laid before you. And them? They're left standing awkward and unsure, looking at a spread they thought would never belong to you. They thought they had it all figured out, that they could keep you boxed in, small, unseen. But now their place cards are missing, and the head of the table belongs to you. While you're decorating your tree with victories, each one a testament to your strength and perseverance, they're trimming theirs with excuses. "We didn't know," they'll say. "It wasn't personal," they'll claim, but the truth is clear, and it's written in the ornaments of their regret. The same ones who mocked your vision are now watching it come to life, and they can't look away. They thought they could dictate the narrative, but the story was never theirs to tell. You were always the author, the creator, the one who saw beyond their short-sighted judgments. And now, as the tables have turned, the view is unmistakable. They were never prepared for this moment. But you were built for it. Let them sit with it, chosen one. Let them decorate their trees with whatever scraps they can find, while yours stands tall, glowing with the light of everything you've overcome. Their season of triumph was fleeting, built on the shaky foundation of mockery and doubt. But your rise, it's solid, unshakable, and undeniable. So while they sit at their hollow gatherings trying to drown out the sound of their own regret, remember this: the tables didn't turn by accident. They turned because you refused to give up. Their downfall isn't just irony, it's the inevitable outcome of underestimating the wrong person. This Christmas, the tables are set, the trees are trimmed, and the truth is clear: you've won, and they know it. Let them watch, let them wonder, and let them sit with the realization that they were never ready for the moment you've claimed as your own. Stars don't battle with darkness, they simply shine. Their brilliance pierces through, commanding attention without effort, and this Christmas, you are that star. You're no longer in the shadows or playing a supporting role. This season, you, the chosen one, stand boldly in the center, radiating a light that cannot be ignored. The people who once dismissed you as irrelevant, who overlooked your worth, now find themselves looking up in awe, unable to deny your presence. This moment is no accident. Just as the Star of Bethlehem guided the wise men to the newborn king, your rise is divinely orchestrated. In Matthew 5:14-16, Jesus declares, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. This is your season to shine, not for your own glory, but as a testament to God's work in your life. Have you noticed how the very ones who doubted you are now transfixed by your light? They can no longer brush you aside or pretend you don't exist. What must it feel like for them, realizing the person they once underestimated now commands attention effortlessly? It's not out of arrogance or pride that you shine, but because God has elevated you to this position. Think of Esther, a woman who stepped into her purpose when it mattered most. For such a time as this, you've been called to shine, not just for yourself, but to fulfill a higher purpose. Esther didn't seek the spotlight, yet she became the star of her story, saving her people and glorifying God in the process. How are you using your newfound radiance? Are you pointing others toward the source of your light? This is not just your time to be seen, it's your time to lead. Like the Star of Bethlehem, your brilliance is not about self-promotion, but about guidance. What message does your light carry? Is it one of hope, forgiveness, and divine favor? Or are you tempted to let bitterness overshadow your shine? And here's the best part. They can't dim your light, no matter how hard they try. For years, they tried to make you invisible, didn't they? They downplayed your vision, underestimated your strength, and mocked your determination. While they decorated themselves with false confidence, you were quietly building something real. And now, as the season lights up, it's your brilliance that's impossible to ignore. You're not just part of the scene anymore, you're the reason everyone's looking up. They wanted you to blend in, to stay small, to remain a shadow in their spotlight. But stars aren't made to blend. They're made to shine, to lead, to illuminate. And that's exactly what you're doing now. Your rise isn't just a moment, it's a declaration. You're here and you're unshakable. And how does it feel, knowing that the same people who tried to dim your light are now blinded by it? They're scrambling, trying to figure out how they missed what was always there, what was always within you. Their arrogance made them think they were the stars of this story. But now they see the truth. You were the star all along. They just didn't have the eyes to see it. This isn't about revenge or rubbing your success in their faces. No, chosen one, your light is too pure for that. Your shine isn't fueled by their doubt. It's fueled by the truth of who you are and the path you've carved through the darkness. Every step you took, every trial you endured, polished your brilliance until it was undeniable. Let them watch. Let them try to explain away your rise. Let them sit in the glow of your success and realize they were wrong. Their opinions, their judgments, their dismissals, they were never the measure of your worth. You were destined to shine, no matter what they thought or said. And now, your light outshines every empty word they've ever spoken. This season, you're not just the star. You're the reminder that resilience, faith, and truth always rise above the noise. You're the proof that no matter how many shadows they tried to cast over you, your light was never theirs to control. So stand tall, chosen one. This season, all eyes are on you, not because you asked for it, but because your brilliance is impossible to ignore. You're the star they can't dim, the light they can't match, and the proof that no darkness can ever outshine what's meant to rise. This is your moment. Shine. Silence often masks the most profound transformations, the moments when the impossible begins to take shape. They thought your silence was a sign of defeat, a retreat into obscurity. They misread your stillness as surrender, your calm as insignificance. Yet this silent night, chosen one, is not a surrender. It is the stillness before an unstoppable roar. It is the quiet preparation before the heavens declare your victory. A triumph so loud it will shake everything they once believed. Think about the night of Christ's birth, a seemingly quiet and uneventful evening in Bethlehem. To the untrained eye, it appeared insignificant. Yet, in that silence, the greatest victory was being prepared, the arrival of the Savior who would transform the world. In the same way, your silence is not a retreat, but a divine strategy. Ecclesiastes 3:7 reminds us, "There is a time to be silent and a time to speak." This night of stillness is your time to gather strength, to let God work unseen before He reveals the fullness of His plan in your life. Do you feel the weight of their misunderstanding? They mistook your patience for passivity, your stillness for failure. But let me ask you, have you ever seen a lion before it roars? It watches, waits, and moves with deliberate calm before unleashing its unmatched power. Your silence mirrors this, steady, deliberate, and poised for impact. Now, as the night unfolds, their false confidence begins to crumble. They once mocked you for your quiet resolve, yet now they find no peace in this silent night. What must it feel like for them, realizing the calm they dismissed is the precursor to their undoing? Their misjudgments echo louder than ever as the truth of your strength begins to surface. In Isaiah 30:15, the Lord says, "In repentance and rest is your salvation, in quietness and trust is your strength." This is your silent night, a testament to your trust in God's timing, to your willingness to let Him fight for you. And when the moment comes, when the silence is broken, the roar of your victory will not only be heard but felt. While they were busy making noise, running their mouths, and throwing doubt your way, you were building, you were preparing. And now, as the stillness breaks, your victory speaks louder than anything they could have ever said. They didn't see it coming. They were so caught up in their noise, mockery, arrogance, and hollow confidence that they couldn't hear the quiet storm gathering behind the scenes. You didn't waste time defending yourself against their words. You didn't engage in their petty games. You let them laugh, let them doubt, because you knew something they didn't. The loudest noise comes right after the quietest moment. And now their noise has faded. Their voices, once so confident and dismissive, have turned to silence. They don't have the words to counter what they see, your undeniable rise. Their doubt has been replaced with wide-eyed disbelief, their scoffing replaced with awkward politeness. The same people who once mocked you are now scrambling to understand how you got here, how you proved them so spectacularly wrong. This silent night isn't just peaceful, it's powerful. It's the moment your actions, your resilience, and your triumphs speak for themselves. While they were wasting energy trying to shout over you, you were laying the foundation for something they couldn't shake. Now your victory rings out like a chorus, loud and unignorable, drowning out every insult and doubt they threw your way. They thought their noise was power. They thought their words could break you. But power isn't in the noise, it's in the results. And your results? They're deafening. Every accomplishment you've made, every step forward, is a reminder that you didn't just survive their doubt, you thrived in spite of it. You turned their ridicule into fuel, their arrogance into a stepping stone. And while you rise, they're left in the uncomfortable silence of their own making. It's not that you silenced them, it's that your success has made their words irrelevant. They're grappling with the reality that the person they dismissed, mocked, and doubted has outpaced them in every way. The quiet they thought was your weakness has become the stage for your unstoppable victory. Let this be their silent night, chosen one, not as a moment of peace for them, but as a moment of reflection. They can sit with the echoes of their own failure while your victory roars louder than ever. This isn't just your triumph, it's their reckoning. The noise they relied on has faded, and all that's left is the undeniable truth. You've won, and nothing they say can change that. Silent night, loud victory, the anthem of your rise. Life has a way of turning intentions into outcomes, and this Christmas, the harvest of their actions has arrived. For every seed of doubt they sowed, every word of discouragement they spoke, and every act of dismissal they showed you. A bitter fruit has been prepared. While stockings are hung with care and homes echo with laughter, there is one gift they cannot avoid: a heavy, unadorned lump of coal, not sparkling or wrapped in glitter, but crafted from their own deeds. Your triumph has become their coal, a weight they cannot ignore, no matter how brightly the holiday lights may shine. This truth resonates deeply with Galatians 6:7, which declares, "Do not be deceived, God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows." Their actions, once seemingly harmless, have returned to them, not as fleeting consequences, but as a lasting reminder of their choices. They may try to mask the burden with forced smiles and seasonal cheer, but the weight of their harvest lingers, undeniable and unyielding. Consider the irony of their situation. They once sought to diminish you, to overshadow your purpose and stifle your growth, yet now their own actions have become their undoing. As you rise in triumph, their inability to celebrate your success reveals the truth they can no longer hide. They are confronted with the very consequences they never anticipated. Can you imagine what it feels like for them to see your victory illuminate their own shortcomings? This moment reflects the principle of divine justice, as seen in the story of Haman in the book of Esther. Haman built a gallows for Mordecai, intending to destroy him, yet it was Haman himself who faced the punishment he had planned for another. Similarly, their attempts to hold you back have only added to the weight of their own downfall. What must they think as they realize that the very triumph they tried to prevent has now become the evidence of their missteps? They had every chance, didn't they? Every opportunity to see your potential, to recognize your strength, and to support your vision. Instead, they chose the low road. Mockery, doubt, and ridicule became their tools of choice, thinking they could undermine you, overshadow you, or extinguish your fire. But here's the irony: they didn't douse your flame, they fueled it. Every word they threw your way became the coal that stoked your resilience, turning pressure into power and fire into triumph. And now, as they sit by their glowing hearths, their faces are shadowed by the harsh reality of your success. They see your light shining brighter than ever, and it burns them. That lump of coal they hold isn't just symbolic, it's the embodiment of their failed attempts to keep you down. The harder they tried, the more they ensured their own reckoning. This isn't just your victory, it's their consequence. They wanted you to fail. They waited for it, whispered about it, and reveled in the thought of it. But instead of collapsing, you grew stronger. Instead of breaking, you built. And now your success is undeniable, a roaring fire they can't extinguish. The same people who once dismissed you are left holding the very coal they tried to hand you. It's not a festive reminder of warmth or joy. It's a testament to their own arrogance and short-sightedness. Your triumph isn't just your rise, it's their reflection. Every step you've taken, every obstacle you've overcome, and every goal you've achieved stands as a reminder of what they tried to stop but couldn't. They thought they were leaving you in the cold, but now they're the ones left with nothing but ashes and regret. This coal isn't just a gift of karma, it's a symbol of balance. It's the weight of their actions coming back full circle. While they clung to mockery, you held on to purpose. While they burned bridges, you built pathways. And now, as the season of light and giving unfolds, their coal stands as a stark contrast to the joy you've earned. Let them hold it, chosen one. Let them feel the cold, hard truth of what their actions have brought them. Your triumph is their coal, and it will linger long after the lights are taken down and the decorations are packed away. This Christmas, their stockings are filled with the weight of your success and the undeniable proof that you were always destined to rise. The brighter the light, the deeper the shadows it casts. This Christmas, your glow isn't the fleeting twinkle of holiday decorations or the shimmer of glittering ornaments. It is the enduring radiance of triumph, a light rooted in resilience and grace. Your glow speaks of someone who has overcome trials, someone who has risen above doubts, betrayals, and dismissals. It shines so brightly that it leaves no room for pretense, casting their flickering lights into the shadows. Have you ever noticed how genuine brilliance often reveals the fragility of artificial light? Their lights, once confidently displayed, now falter under the weight of envy, regret, and disbelief. The very sight of your unwavering glow reminds them of what they tried to diminish. As John 1:5 says, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." This truth has never been clearer. Your light, divinely given, cannot be dimmed by their shadows. It only grows brighter. Think about the Star of Bethlehem. Its radiance wasn't meant to compete with the night sky. It simply existed, guiding the wise and exposing those who ignored its significance. Similarly, your glow isn't about outshining anyone. It is a testament to God's work in your life, a beacon that points to His faithfulness. What must it feel like for them? Seeing your radiance and knowing it reflects not just victory, but a purpose greater than themselves. Their dimming lights are not merely the result of your glow, but of their own choices. Regret, envy, and disbelief weigh heavily, extinguishing the confidence they once displayed. Consider the parable of the 10 virgins in Matthew 25:1-13. Those who failed to prepare their lamps found themselves left in the dark, while the wise ones carried their lights into the feast. Your glow, like theirs, is the result of preparation, faith, and perseverance. A light that cannot be extinguished because it is sustained by God's grace. They thought their glow would last forever, didn't they? They basked in their moment, reveling in your struggles, assuming their laughter would drown out your quiet strength. But now, as the tables have turned, their spotlight has faded, overshadowed by the brilliance of your success. Every step you've taken, every hurdle you've overcome has fueled your radiance, leaving them scrambling to hold on to the dimming remnants of their false confidence. It's not just that you're shining brighter, it's that your glow exposes everything they tried to hide. Their arrogance, their dismissals, their hollow victories, all of it is illuminated under the power of your light. And now their carefully crafted facade is crumbling, unable to stand in the glow of someone who refused to be extinguished. They don't understand it. How could someone they mocked, someone they underestimated, outshine them so completely? Their pride kept them from seeing the truth. Your glow wasn't about validation or revenge. It was about staying true to your purpose. While they clung to the fleeting light of approval, you were building a fire within, one that no amount of mockery could snuff out. And now, as the world turns its gaze to you, their lights flicker, unable to compete with your steady flame. It's not just a dimming, it's a reckoning. Their confidence wasn't built on substance, it was built on illusions. And illusions can't stand in the face of real, undeniable triumph. But you don't need to dim their lights to shine. Your glow comes from within, fueled by resilience, purpose, and an unwavering belief in who you are. Their fading light isn't your doing. It's the consequence of their choices, their arrogance, and their inability to see what was right in front of them all along. So let your glow shine, chosen one. Let it fill the spaces they thought they owned, casting shadows on the doubts they once threw your way. Their dimming lights are not your burden. They're a reminder that truth, resilience, and purpose will always outshine the shallow glow of arrogance. This Christmas, your light is more than a decoration. It's a beacon, a reminder of what happens when you stay true, keep going, and refuse to let anyone extinguish your fire. While their lights fade into the background, your glow will continue to shine, steady and unstoppable. This Christmas, the atmosphere carries a weight they can no longer ignore, an undeniable shift in the air. The smug grins they once wore so boldly, their laughter that echoed with mockery, have faded into uneasy silence. The arrogance that fueled their dismissals has been replaced by tension, their confidence shaken by the undeniable truth of your triumph. Their grins have turned to frowns, not because of what you said, but because of the undeniable reality of who you've become and what God has done in your life. Proverbs 19:21 tells us, "Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails." Their plans, their mockery, and their dismissals, all of it now feels hollow in the face of your unwavering victory. They thought their words would define your story, but the truth has made its entrance, cutting through their illusions like light piercing the darkness. What must it feel like for them, watching the very person they underestimated stand tall, unshaken, and undeniable? Consider the story of Joseph. His brothers mocked him, sold him into slavery, and believed they had erased his dreams forever. But when famine struck, and they stood before him as ruler of Egypt, their arrogance turned to dread. In Genesis 50:20, Joseph tells them, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Your story mirrors this moment. Their mockery was never the end. It was merely a chapter leading to God's greater purpose in your life. They thought they had you figured out, didn't they? They grinned because they were so sure of your failure, certain that their dismissals and judgments would be the final word. Every sneer, every smirk was their attempt to belittle your journey, to diminish the strength you carried. But here's the thing about arrogance: it blinds. They didn't see the storm you were building or the silent power that was growing within you. And now, as the year draws to a close, reality has come knocking. The truth of your resilience, your success, and your unshakable spirit has shattered their illusions. Their grins, once smug and confident, have given way to the weight of realization. It's not just that they were wrong, it's that they mocked you for being right. And now, every time they see you rise, every time they hear of your achievements, the sting of their own arrogance deepens. Their frowns aren't just expressions, they're the outward signs of an internal reckoning. They're remembering the words they spoke, the laughter they shared, and the condescension they thought would keep you down. But the tables have turned. Those grins they once wore have become heavy with the weight of regret, and their laughter has been replaced with silence. You don't need to confront them. You don't need to say, "I told you so." The evidence of your triumph is enough. It speaks louder than any argument, clearer than any rebuttal. While they're wrestling with the consequences of their actions, you're standing tall, untouched by their past doubts, and stronger than ever. This isn't about revenge, it's about truth. The truth they tried to ignore, dismiss, and mock is now undeniable, and it's written all over their faces. Those frowns they wear, they're a reminder that mockery is fleeting, but triumph endures. So let them frown, chosen one. Let them sit with the weight of their own misjudgments. Their expressions are not your burden, they're their own. Your rise isn't about their fall. It's about the power of staying true to yourself when the world doubted you. This Christmas, the tables have turned. While your joy shines brighter than ever, their grins have faded into the shadows of their own regret. Let them carry the weight of it, for it's a lesson they needed to learn. And you're moving forward, unshaken, unbothered, and unstoppable. A name carries power far beyond mere words. It holds memory, meaning, and a legacy that echoes long after it is spoken. This Christmas, something extraordinary is unfolding. Amid the jingling of holiday bells and the shimmering of ornaments, there is one sound that rises above the festive clamor: your name. It rings through the air like the clear and resonant peal of church bells on a frosty winter morning, impossible to ignore, and unforgettable in its impact. Have you ever thought about the power of your name? It's not just the letters that make it special, but the story it tells and the victories it represents. This season, your name is no longer whispered in doubt or hidden behind closed doors. Instead, it is spoken with awe, ringing with the weight of triumph and the undeniable truth of who you are. Proverbs 22:1 reminds us, "A good name is more desirable than great riches. To be esteemed is better than silver or gold." Your name, chosen one, is now a symbol of perseverance, divine favor, and a purpose fulfilled. The sound of your name carries a message that cannot be silenced. Those who once dismissed you now find themselves unable to escape its resonance. It is not just a name, it is a declaration of God's work in your life. Much like the name of David, whose triumph over Goliath became a song of inspiration for generations, your name now carries a melody of victory that others cannot help but hear. What must it feel like for those who doubted you, who underestimated your strength, to hear your name spoken with respect and admiration? To them, it might feel like an unexpected echo, a reminder of their misjudgment. But for you, it is a celebration, a bell ringing out the glory of a story rewritten by God's hand. Think about the shepherds on the night of Christ's birth. The angel's announcement of his name, Jesus, wasn't just a moment in history, it was the beginning of an eternal legacy. Your name too is being lifted this season, not for self-glory, but as a testament to the one who has carried you through every trial and triumph. The same people who once dismissed you, who whispered about you in doubt and mockery, are now forced to hear it everywhere. They can't escape it, no matter how hard they try. Your name is the sound they never wanted to hear but can't stop listening to. For years, they called you everything except what you were. Dreamer, fool, nobody. They attached their labels, believing they could define you. But now, the weight of your truth has shattered every false name they ever tried to give you. The name they once spoke with scorn is now spoken with awe, and maybe a touch of fear, because when your name rings, it's not just a sound, it's a declaration, a reminder of the rise they didn't see coming and the fall they couldn't prevent. Your name rings like bells because it carries power now. It's spoken with respect, even from those who once doubted you. They hear it in places they never expected, in conversations they're not part of, in circles they can't control, and in spaces they thought were theirs to dominate. It's not just a name anymore, it's a force. And every time they hear it, it's a reminder of their misjudgment, their blindness, their arrogance. They hear it, chosen one. Every victory you've achieved, every milestone you've reached, and every step you've taken forward has made your name louder, stronger, more undeniable. The bells of your success don't just ring, they resonate. They carry the weight of everything you've overcome, everything they tried to take from you, and everything you've built in their absence. And the beauty of it? You didn't need to force it. You didn't need to shout your name from rooftops or beg for recognition. You let your actions speak, your work shine, and your truth stand on its own. Now, your name rings louder than anything they could have imagined, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it. While they sit in the silence of their own doubts, your name fills the air like the sound of Christmas bells. Joyful for some, haunting for others. It's not just a sound, it's a reckoning. Every time they hear it, it's a reminder that they were wrong about you, that they underestimated the strength behind the name they tried to bury. This Christmas, let your name ring, chosen one. Let it echo far and wide, a testament to everything you've endured and everything you've become. For some, it's the sound of hope. For others, the sound of regret. But for you, it's the sound of destiny fulfilled. The brightest stars often go unnoticed until they're the only light in the darkness. For so long they overlooked you, dismissed your presence, and brushed off your significance. You were there all along, steady, unwavering, and radiant. But their arrogance, their illusions of what greatness should look like, blinded them. They chased after false stars, following fleeting glimmers that promised much but delivered little. And now, the star they ignored, the star they thought was just a flicker, is the one lighting the path, too bright for them to turn away. Your journey reflects the profound truth found in John 1:5. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. They could not see your light because they were too focused on their own ambitions, too preoccupied with fleeting successes. Yet, like the Star of Bethlehem, your light was never meant to compete with others. It was meant to guide, to endure, and to reveal the way when all other lights failed. Think of the wise men as they followed the star to the Christ child. The world around them may not have understood their journey, and many likely ignored the star altogether. But the wise men stayed the course, guided by the steady light that led them to salvation. Similarly, your light, once dismissed, is now unavoidable. Those who ignored you must now reckon with the reality that your light is the one showing the way forward. Can you imagine their thoughts as they finally see you for who you are? They once dismissed you as insignificant, yet now they cannot escape the brightness of your purpose. What must it feel like for them to realize the very star they overlooked is the one illuminating the path they desperately need? They thought they had it figured out. They mocked your vision, scoffed at your clarity, and told anyone who'd listened that you weren't worth following. What do they know? They said. Why would anyone trust them? Their voices were loud, drowning out any possibility of understanding. But here's the thing about stars. They don't need an audience to shine. They don't burn brighter because someone notices. They shine because it's in their nature. And you didn't need their validation. While they sought approval from each other, running in circles under dim lights, you stayed steady. You didn't need to fight for attention or prove your worth. You knew that in time, the truth would become clear. And now their false lights have burned out, leaving them in the dark. And when they look up, desperate for direction, it's your light they see piercing through the darkness they thought would never come. The irony is almost poetic. The same people who dismissed you are now scrambling to follow the very path you've been paving all along. Their doubt, their mockery, their arrogance, it was all noise, and now it's been silenced by the undeniable glow of your rise. The star they ignored isn't just guiding the way, it's leading them out of the mess they created for themselves. You don't need their apologies, their recognition, or their praise. Your light was never for them. It was for the journey you've always known you were on. While they stumbled in their arrogance, you moved forward in purpose. And now, as they try to catch up, they're forced to confront the truth they refuse to see. Your brilliance was never a fluke. It was always destined to shine. Let them wrestle with their regret, chosen one. Let them sit in the discomfort of realizing they were wrong. You don't need to look back to explain or to dim your light for their comfort. Keep shining, keep moving, keep leading. Because the truth is, they need you now more than ever. The star they ignored has become their guide, and the path you've illuminated is one they can't deny. Their arrogance blinded them, but your resilience has outshone their doubt. You are the light they never saw coming, and now you're the only one lighting the way forward. Keep shining brighter than ever. Justice delayed is not justice denied. It's the quiet preparation before truth takes its rightful place. This Christmas, the moment has come. The time for excuses, manipulations, and endless attempts to distort reality has run its course. The pen they once used to write their stories of doubt, mockery, and deceit has run dry. The ink they relied upon to weave false narratives and create illusions is gone. Now, the judgment is final, and there's no rewriting this ending. This moment echoes the powerful truth of Ecclesiastes 3:17. God will bring into judgment both the righteous and the wicked, for there will be a time for every activity, a time to judge every deed. Their words, their actions, and their attempts to twist the truth have all been accounted for. The page has been turned, and what remains is a verdict that no amount of scheming can overturn. For years, they may have believed their stories could define you, that their narratives of doubt and dismissal would stick. But as with every lie, the ink fades, leaving nothing but the truth to stand. Do you remember the story of Daniel in the lion's den? His enemies wrote false accusations against him, believing their schemes would seal his fate. Yet when the judgment came, it was their lies that unraveled, and Daniel's faithfulness shone through. Your story mirrors this divine justice. The pens of your accusers are dry, their attempts to rewrite your destiny thwarted by God's hand. Imagine their realization as they stand before this final judgment, unable to edit or erase the truth any longer. What must it feel like to know their words, once wielded as weapons, have lost their power? How do they reconcile their false narratives with the undeniable reality of your triumph? And now, as you stand vindicated, what will you do with this moment? Will you focus on their defeat, or will you turn your gaze toward the one who has written the truth of your story from the beginning? Isaiah 54:17 proclaims, "No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and this is their vindication from me, declares the Lord." This judgment isn't just about them, it's about you stepping into the fullness of your purpose. The dry pens and faded lies are a testament to the enduring power of truth and the unstoppable justice of God. For so long they lived in the illusion that they were in control, that their words could shape your reality, that their whispers could drown out your truth. They believed the courtroom of public opinion was theirs to command, their verdicts unquestionable, their mockery unshakable. But now, as the final chapter is written, they realize the truth. They were never the judge, they were the accused, and the evidence against them, undeniable. The case has been building for years, hasn't it? Every insult they hurled, every sneer they delivered, every time they doubted you, it's all been recorded, logged, and kept in the archives of karma. You didn't need to fight back, to scream for validation, or to stoop to their level. You simply waited. You trusted that the truth would outlast their lies, that time would expose the cracks in their stories, and that justice would arrive when it was meant to. And now, here it is. The gavel has fallen. The judgment is final. They thought they could rewrite reality, didn't they? They wielded their pens like weapons, crafting stories where you were the fool, the failure, the one who didn't have what it takes. But now their pens are dry, and their words hold no power. The judgment isn't just against them, it's for you. It's the validation of everything you've stood for, everything you've endured, and everything they tried to deny. Their arrogance blinded them to the truth. This moment was inevitable. You were never the one on trial. Their lies, their mockery, their fragile egos, they were always the ones being weighed and measured. And now, as the ink runs out and the pages turn, they're left staring at a final sentence they can't erase. You were right all along. You don't need their apologies. You don't need their regret. The judgment isn't for them, it's for you. It's the closure you've earned, the truth you've always known, and the vindication they never thought you'd see. Their chapter is over, and yours is just beginning. So stand tall, chosen one. Let them wrestle with the weight of their defeat. The pen is dry, the case is closed, the judgment is final, and it reads loud and clear. You were never their victim. You were always their reckoning. In conclusion, the truth always comes to light, no matter how long it's been hidden in the shadows. Chosen ones, this Christmas, your case has been closed, and the victory is yours. Everything they tried to deny, everything they mocked, everything they said you'd never achieve, it's all standing before you now, undeniable and unshakable. The tables have turned, and the truth is now clear. You've not only survived their doubt, you've thrived in spite of it. You didn't just prove them wrong, you made their words irrelevant. As you step into this new chapter, stronger and more unstoppable than ever, it's time to claim the destiny that has always been waiting for you. This isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of something greater. This is your time to rise higher, to inspire others, and to build a legacy that even your enemies will one day respect. The journey you've walked has been marked by faith, perseverance, and unwavering trust in God. Now, you're stepping into the fullness of His promises for your life. I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for being here, for joining us on this incredible journey. If this message has spoken to your heart, I invite you to support us through Super Thanks. Your generosity helps us continue spreading messages of hope and encouragement. But whether or not you donate, I am deeply grateful for your presence here. Every like, share, and comment you leave makes a difference, helping us grow this community of faith. Don't forget to subscribe, if you haven't already, so we can continue walking together on this path. May this Christmas bring you peace, joy, and a reminder that the best is yet to come for you. I pray that God's blessings overflow in your life, and that you see His hand in every step you take. You are chosen, you are blessed, and you're about to step into a season of divine breakthroughs. Thank you for being a part of this family, and may God continue to bless you in every way.